A Malawi delegation is in Uganda to benchmark on the country's Rural Electrification Program. The 9-member delegation, led by the Acting Director of Natural Resources, Energy and Mining in Malawi, Joseph Kalowekamo, have been in the country since Monday. Kalowekamo says Malawi is set to establish a Malawi Rural Electrification Program to increase access to electricity in rural areas in order to spur social and economic development.
But a decision has been made that probably we need a stand-alone or a semi-autonomous agency called the Rural Electrification Agency to champion the increase of access to electricity in the rural and the peri-urban areas. So we are in the process of establishing this Rural Electrification Agency, but knowing that other countries, neighboring countries, have already done this.
An MP from the Legislative Assembly of Malawi, Mary Navicha, says that only 42% of the 18 million citizens are connected onto the electricity grid.
Uganda is one of the countries that is fast growing in as far as energy is concerned. That's why we decided to come and visit and learn some of the achievements that we have made so far, so that when we're back home, we implement what we have learned here.
The visiting team was received by the Minister of State for Energy and Mineral Development, Peter Lokeris, and later visited the Electricity Regulatory Authority. ERA Chief Executive Officer, Engineer Ziria Tibalwa Wako, tipped the team on deliberate regulatory framework, innovations, favorable electricity connection policy, grid intensification, and self-projects for consumers, among others.
The government policies in place are such that they enable us to make the electricity supply industry financially viable. So that is an area where we pride in across the entire continent. And what are we doing better and different as compared to all the other countries on the continent would be an area of interest, depending on the expertise that is within your team.
Ziria also highlighted that the Rural Electrification Program targets a population whose income levels are below the average income earner and requires resilient government strategies for future sustainability.
All strategies that you come up with around the rural electrification should have that into mind, that you are reaching a population, because if they were able to afford, possibly they would also be like the urban or the pre-urban or the municipalities.
The delegation also visited Rural Electrification Program project sites in Buama Sub-County in PG District. They also visited Equatorial Power with 40 kilowatts in Chiwumu Mukono District, where they were received by engineer Charlene Nagawa.
Set state of charge for the batteries, then we have it turn on the generator, maybe in the middle of the night, like at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. The generator runs to maybe 40% of the batteries and turns off again, and then the load is powered.
They concluded their visit with Bujagali Hydroelectric Power Station in Jinja and were briefed by the staff and the manager.